Morning, welcome to Full Size Ford. 1970 Country Squire wagon. Off the road for I don't know how many years. But today we're going to see if we can make it run. Let's dive in. Alright, so here's what we're working with. 392 barrel, appears to be the original engine. Appears to be mostly complete. Air conditioning car. There is, the only thing I really see is that the radiator is missing. That was laying in the front seat of the car, or the back seat when we got it. So I don't know if somebody started disassembling this because there was a problem, or if there was a cooling issue, or who knows. It was parked years ago, but this car is actually going to be parted out. It's got quite a bit of rust in it, body damage and so forth, so it's not really worth repairing. Some opinions may differ on that. If yours does, contact us. So we're just going to start with the basics of seeing if we've got some spark. I know there's probably going to be no fuel from the tank. We'll probably have to bottle feed it. But we're going to see if we can find some clues on why this thing was parked. One good thing about this car, you see there's the radiator sitting there. One positive with this car, which we hardly ever get, is this car, we've got keys. So yeah, the other thing with this car, and this could be the reason why it's parked, is this steering is like completely locked up. I don't know if the rag joint is broke or what's going on with that, but the car will hardly steer. So could be another reason why it was parked, but the radiator being out, that kind of tells me there could be other reasons. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a battery and start to hook up these cables and see if we have any electrical power. So as is typical with older cars, you can see there is not much left of the battery tray. This piece right here is reminiscent of the original tray. The rest of it has been reduced to iron ore, and of course that has rotted right through the inner fender as well. Again, totally typical. Okay, so let's set this battery down here on what's left of this inner fender. I think there's probably barely enough to support it there. Of course, we'll do the hookup and the smell check, the visual check. Look for smoke, smell for smoke. Alright, here we go with the positive cable, the negative cable. Positive is on. Got some spider egg sackage in here in this negative cable. Get that out so we get a good connection. Egg sac has been removed. Don't smell anything burning. Looks like we got some rolls of faux wood in here, like somebody was gonna maybe attempt a restoration on this car. That looks like pretty sweet stuff right there. Looks like it's like adhesive wrap. He's definitely been sitting in here for a while. But we have some keyage. We have oil light on. Goes out. So we do have some power. Put it up in park. Turn that key off. Oh, now we got the helper. He's not gonna like being attached to that. All right. So now that we know that we have power there, pull this off here and see what we've got for carburetage. Oh yeah, those throttle shafts are stuck, frozen solid. So it looks like we're going to go need to get some WD-40 or some Seafoam Deep Creep or one of those, and see if we can't get this to free up. I got a feeling that the answer is probably going to be no. So, all right. So let's head back up to the garage and get some more supplies. And see if we can't get that freed up. All right. So let's see if we can lube some of this linkage up here. If we can't get that to free up. It's like someone's put an aftermarket transmission cooler in here. Set that out of the way. Rub it on that pulley. So, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and go around there and bump the key and see if the if the starter will actually engage. Nothing. Now that ignition switch feels pretty wonky, but we can try jumping the solenoid to see if it will it will actually kick the starter over, or is the starter locked up? Alright, so we're going to take these connections loose off this solenoid, which is probably bad, I'm assuming. This car's been setting so long, and see if we can clean up some connections here and get some electrical power to the starter. I imagine this starter is probably left the building. We have to run up to the garage and get a different solenoid also. These are all... Come on, Harbor Freight Ranch, you can do it. Fully polished Pittsburgh. Okay, so got power there, got power there. Okay, Kale, I want you to go inside and turn the key. See if it actually gives us power to this wire when we... Okay, turn it to start. You're all the way up to start? Okay. We got nothing there. So. Ignition switch is probably gone. Yeah, go ahead and turn it off. Get it off. Okay. So our lead on our positive cable isn't really making connection. So we need to, I think we need to clean that cable end up a little bit. Okay, Kale, hit the key for me again.
To start?
Yep.
Let's start.
Okay, turn it back off. Okay, go to start again.
Start again?
Yep.
Okay.
You going to start?
Yeah.
Okay. You can go and turn it off. Wait, what you do, bro?
Did you do a thing? Like it?
There it goes. Okay. Think we got it. I think we got all the corrosion cleaned off. Okay. So let's see if all right. She's gonna crank. We got power. So now let's see if it'll do it with the key. Okay. So it won't crank over with the key, but we know we can crank it over by jumping the solenoid. So now we need to see if we've got power in the distributor. What's going on with the points? Distributor there. This will be the positive. This side. That thing's down on the bottom, but I can't get to it very well. See what kind of connector's on that. Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna have you come around here and turn the key again. Let's see if I've got 12 volts at this distributor.
Ready?
Yep.
Start?
Yep. Go to on at least. Okay, so I've got power to the coil.
That's good.
Okay, so now let's pop the distributor cap and see if we've got power inside.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay. 100,000 miles.
Hold on. So I'm thinking that we may. I don't know if there's any. Okay, go ahead and turn the ignition on.
Right when I get out. Can I put it to start?
No, just on. Looks like I do have a little bit of gap there, but not much. So let's let's okay. The ignition on?
Yep.
So no spark. Alright, you shut it off. So Peru thinks we may have a problem in the distributor. Points, yep. I think you might be on the right track. So we're gonna go ahead and probably should ohms test this coil, but I don't want to walk all the way back up to the garage and get the digital multimeter. So we've got a set of points and a new condenser here. We're going to go ahead and change those right here and see if we can't get some spark on this number one spark plug here. And there you see we've got the new condensers installed already, getting ready to install the new points, and then we will set the gap on this to the somewhat close to the factory specification and see if we can't get this thing to spark. If not, then we'll start looking at that coil.
Action.
Alright. Now, one of my funner things, working with fine little screws because I'm so good at it. Get these. Make sure we get that ground wire hooked up. We don't want to tighten this all the way down yet, so we got to be able to move these points to set this gap. The rearward screw will be the one that we make the most of the adjustment on. So now that that's in there, make sure we scoot this in. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the engine now so that the armature, the arm for the points, is on one of the tips of the cam. I'll kind of show you what we're talking about here. So, if we look in there, try to get a good view of it here. You can see there's eight points on that cam. You can see these little, lines on that rotor right there. And each time that armature or those points passes over one of those, it opens the points up, and that gap needs to be a certain amount. So that's what we're going to do now, is get that set. So I believe they call for point gap on these 390s to be right around 18 thousandths. I think most references say about 17 thousandths. So you can see what I'm talking about right here. You can see where that arm is resting on the on that cam right there, and you see that is. I'm trying to get you in there close. See how open those points are right there? I know it's hard to see in this view, but so we want that gap between those 2 points to be about 17 thousandths of an inch. And see, where we're looking at is right at the end of this screwdriver here, and we're going to typically use a feeler gauge. You can see right there, you can see how open that gap is right there. I can put the screwdriver in between those 2 point ends. So we want that to be about 17 thousandths when this armature is resting on this cam right here at the end of my screwdriver. So that will be the next step. Alright, so we're gonna put that gap right there. Okay. See, what I'm using here is just a set of feeler gauges. For some reason, I don't know why, this is an old Craftsman set I've had for years, but if I can get these in the camera here, for some reason this set is 15, 16, 18, 20. Of course, 17 thousandths is the ideal, but 18 thousandths can be fine. So we're going to use that one there. Right. Just double check it. Yeah. Alright. These wires back up. So, it's in here. There it is with our gap set and our condenser new points installed. Let's get the cap back on it. See if we don't have some sparkage on this thing. Oh, you know what? I know we wouldn't have any sparkage if we left this laying up here. This would be an old trick back in high school we used to do all the time because people didn't have these fuel injected doodads and all this stuff. You just go out there and pop somebody's hood, sneak out there in the parking lot of school, take one of these out. I do not advocate doing that to anyone.
I don't think anyone has a
That was
carburetor
that
on
was
their
just a
car.
reminiscence from the past. I do not advocate taking someone's rotor out of their vehicle. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn the key on, Kale. Turn it to run.
Start
Not start, just run.
on.
Start's not going to do anything. Okay. We are getting some spark.
Heard it.
So let's see if we get enough of something for this to fire.
Are you gonna pour gas down the yak?
Oh, you know it. So yeah. So let's go ahead and pull this thing off. Handy tester here. I wish my dad would have had one of these when I was a kid. Wouldn't have been so much of this. Here, hold on to this and tell me if there's spark. Well, we have not pulled a plug on this or anything, so I'm just going to pour a little gas in it. And so linkage has actually got it quite well, so she ran for a second.
Yeah.
I tell you, this alternator belt is gone. It's just flapping around in here, but let's. I'm gonna pour a little bit more fuel in. Let's see. Just keep it running. We may have to see if we can rig up a fuel hose and from the pump and bottle feed this thing, or we can use the little electric pump. Let's go ahead and pull these belts off because they're not doing anything anyway. Well, at least we know it now that it will indeed fire. Think, buddy. Still waiting for that milk bone, huh? But I forgot. Yeah, I know. I would imagine the fuel pump in this thing is probably shot. I'm going to loosen up this power steering pump here so I can get this belt off. So we don't need any of those accessories operating anyway. Perfect. And now it won't drive that water pump. I don't think there's any water in it anyway, but that's not a big deal to us because we're not going to run it very long. Could pop the top of this carb off and fill the bowls. Trying.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just running till it runs out of gas. And so let's get the electric pump and see if we can run it off the tank. See if we can get it to run for longer than like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Just for fun. So I don't know what this is going to do, but
On.
okay. No. All right. So now we lost power again. Let's see what we got. A little bit. Okay. Come on. Give me some power. Give me some power. Ah, this thing's just so rusted. We should probably just put a new solenoid on it. Nah. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to see if I can get fuel up to this carb, if it actually, the squirters actually work. Let's see if there's actually squirtage in here. Probably a very slim chance of that, but I'd say that would be enough. We don't have any fuel in the bowl yet. I don't know if this thing is primed and is taking fuel. Okay, I'll be right back. We'll go grab some starting fuel. Good to go? She runs for a minute. We may have to take the top of this carb off. I don't think we're getting any squirtage. Nope. So let's go ahead and unhook this for now. Let's pull the top of the carb off and see what we got going inside there. Alright, so there's only 4 screws that hold this on, and then this piece here that your air cleaner stud. So we can move that. I'm going to move this out of the way here because I don't want to take this other piece of linkage off right here. I just want to look in there. And it looks like I actually have some fuel in the carburetor. But let's see if I'm gonna have to plug this battery. I'm gonna plug this pump back in. Well, There's actually liquid in there, but one thing I'm seeing here. Let's take a look at the. Let's just pop this float out here. Take a look at. Float looks all right. Let's take a look at this. Needle and seat here. Let's see. So I'm guessing I'm almost guessing that's fresh fuel in there that we just pumped in there, but it's hard to tell. Because I can't imagine, as long as this car's been sitting, that there's still fuel in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these squirters out of here. I just want to make sure that these squirters aren't clogged. It doesn't look like that's in bad shape. Let's see what that is. Okay. We have got squirtage now. So accelerator pump is actually doing something, which is a miracle. Again, I don't know how long this car was off the road, but now I can hear it filling fuel in there. Okay. So let's turn the key on.
It is.
Okay. Okay. We got a red light on in there on the dash.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So let's. She's running. Valve train's not happy because there's no oil up there, but yeah. Oh, she was actually going to try to idle. She might have ran out of fuel though, because I didn't have the fuel pump hooked up. So, the issue we've got. Let's see. not going to run it for very long. It does have some, definitely has some lifter noise, but look at that. I don't know how many years this thing, but she's just sitting there idling. Go ahead and shut the key off, Kale. All right. All right, well, there you have it. 1970 Country Squire, 390, 2-barrel. I have no idea how long this thing has been off the road. I think it was rescued from just abandoned, sitting in a field somewhere. No title, of course. The license plates were missing, so I don't have any really tags to go off of. Sometimes we can take a look at these service stickers on the door, but you can see these ones are so faded and rubbed off I can't really make heads or tails of anything on those. So, but anyway, we know that it will run, and some people say, well, why are you worried about it, if it's going to run or not, when it's just a car you're going to tear down and part out? But the reason why we really wanted to know if this was run, because we want to take this engine and actually use it in this 63 500 XL box top right here. That's the plan. This is an original 390 car, so it'd be cool to put a 390 back in it. Yes, this car needs a lot of work, but first step is finding a drivetrain that would work, and I think we have it in this donor car right here. Now, of course, we'll need to do a little bit to check the transmission on this. Of course, this is going to be a C6 in this car, which the Galaxy would originally had a Cruise-O-Matic, MX big case Cruise-O-Matic. But again, really glad that this one actually started and ran. Our last Will It Start video didn't turn out so well, but we're not giving up on that 65 Galaxy. Stay tuned for that one. We will be back. The issue with that car is it's over 500 miles away from us, and we only make it down to where that car is at a couple times a year usually. So next time we are down there, we will definitely be getting back to that car and trying to bring that one back to life. And we want to bring it up here to with the other cars, but we want to drive it. We actually want to drive it from Southern Oregon here to Eastern Washington. So if you like what you see here, feel free to share, hit that like and subscribe. We'll be posting more content in the future. We just like tinkering on these old Fords and some of the newer ones too. So you guys have a great day, and we will see you next time. Right there says it all. I know it's hard to read. Powered by Ford.